Bangladesh is on the edge, with widespread violence erupting ahead of the crucial verdict in the case filed against former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Cars have been torched, crude cocktail explosions have been reported, and highways have been blocked with stones in multiple districts. Firecracker explosions were seen heard in parts of the capital, adding to the unease. The situation is escalating, and the government had to rush in border guards as well as the army to contain the unrest. Security has been tightened nationwide as the International Crimes Tribunal prepares to deliver its verdict. The International Crimes Tribunal is a bench that was constituted by the Bangladeshi court itself. Now, the case is linked to alleged crimes against humanity during last year's student-led protests. Sheikh Hasina has denied all the allegations, but the atmosphere in Dhaka remains tense. The Awami League has called a two-day nationwide shutdown, cutting traffic and slowing businesses. Business leaders say the instability is hurting confidence in the country. Many hope that the 2026 general elections will bring calm and restore normalcy. Former BGMEA President Qazi Munir warns that unrest could damage Bangladesh's crucial garment industry and push foreign buyers away. He also stressed the need for strong ties with India while urging unity and peace at home. This crisis comes in the year after 2024 student uprising that toppled Hasina's government and brought the interim administration led by Nobel laureate Mohammad Yunus. With the Awami League now banned, its leaders are operating from undisclosed locations using social media to mobilize supporters. As Bangladesh awaits the tribunal's verdict, the country remains sharply divided and on high alert. As of now, the situation becomes quite tense in Bangladesh. Just ahead of the verdict, the Awami League protesters have been on the streets. A two-day shutdown has been called by the Awami League. Situation is aggravated by the verdict that is expected to come out anytime soon on the Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's role in the student riots that happened, and especially how she tried to contain it. She has denied all the allegations regarding this. Many hope in 2026 that the general elections that have been called by the interim government would in fact restore normalcy. Now, former BGMEA President Qazi Munir has in fact warned that businesses are getting affected in the country, especially its garment industry is facing the fallout of the political instability in the country. The crisis comes a year after 2024 student uprising that had toppled Hasina's government and brought in the interim administration that has been led by Nobel laureate Mohammad Yunus. Now, with the Awami League now banned, its leaders are operating from undisclosed locations using social media to mobilize the supporters. Bangladesh awaits that tribunal verdict. The situation is such that the army, the Bangladeshi guards and the police have been deployed in large numbers, especially after the violence had broken out last night. In fact, right now we have Mohibul Hasan Chowdhury, Bangladesh's former education minister. Mr. Chowdhury, how do you in fact see this verdict's impact once it comes? Of course, Sheikh Hasina's son has said that he knows what it could be. They might even sentence her to death. But what would be the impact on Bangladesh at large? And at the same time, what do you expect from your supporters on the ground?
Thank you for connecting me. We anticipate a major public reaction. People have already expressed their dissatisfaction on the whole process and on the government, this illegal interim government of Mr. Yunus, on the 13th of this month. We have called for a program called Lockdown, and we asked people not to participate in daily life, and they have responded overwhelmingly and positively. From now on, we feel that the people will express their full reaction, and the programs that we will be calling for and we will be declaring, they will participate in it. And this is the end of this regime. The court's entire constitution is illegal. The court's trial process is illegal. And in fact, they have confessed privately that the verdict has already been written. The so-called state-appointed attorney, whilst he was speaking to one of the judges, he has expressed that we all know what the verdict will be, but I have to at least pretend that I am appearing as a neutral attorney. The head of this tribunal has been had been absent from the tribunal itself for the last 1 month. Apparently, he's writing the verdict at home. So this entire kangaroo court has been rejected by the people of Bangladesh, and it is also an attempt by the Yunus regime to bring the country into the brink of a civil war. That's what they're planning to, and that's how these terrorist militant groups thrive.
Now, you are worried about how your country is, in fact, moving forward when it comes to the situation on the ground. It was a student-led protest, but how much of it has been backed by hardline Islamists, especially when it came to that student protest?
You see, already several militant organizations in Pakistan, Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed, had claimed that they have sent their mercenaries into Bangladesh in the run-up to the 5th of August to train assassins there to target kill the protesters in order to blame the government forces, security forces. They had their people already present in the country. And right now, after the 5th of August, since then, the number of Pakistani officials who were coming into Bangladesh and the hardline Islamic party's leaders, including Mr. Maulana Fazlur Rahman and others, who had been coming to Bangladesh and agitating the local extreme right-wing politicians and political forces, they are now hell-bent on turning Bangladesh into another Pakistan. Already Pakistan's military second-in-command has declared that they want to start a fight with India from the Eastern Front. So their objective is to turn the country into East Pakistan. We will not let that happen. ISI was barred from operating in Bangladesh for last 15 years because we had many Kashmiri students who are doing medical degrees in Bangladesh, and we had report that they were being recruited by the ISI operatives in the country to run militant operation within militancy within India. So we had barred them from operation within Bangladesh, but they have started it again. Since the fall of 5th of August, you have seen that Pakistan has gained new momentum, new confidence to export their best product, which is militancy and terrorism abroad. And now they will be using Bangladesh into another terror heaven, like they did between 2001 and 6. So we are preparing to fight these criminals, these militants and terrorists. We want the people of our country with us. They are rejecting this conversion of the country into a terror heaven, and we are all united, not just the Awami League party, but even the parties who are now active and working with the government. Progressive elements within these parties have rejected this resetting of the state, as Mr. Yunus had claimed, resetting of history to social fabric of the nation. So we want everyone on board against these terrorists.
Chaudhary, in fact, that part of it is quite interesting because it's very difficult to understand why would a nation completely go against the very foundation of its existence. And when it comes about, when you talk about the legacy of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, his legacy is being wiped out systematically. And why would a country, in fact, do it? The very person who had ensured that his existence had come into being.
You see, it's not the country doing it. It's a small clique of extreme elements who have taken over power by force. And that's why they do not want to hold any election, including all the political parties. So they do not want an inclusive election either, although they claim that they want to bring democracy into Bangladesh, a true democracy. If that is the case, why don't they hold an inclusive election allowing all political parties to participate? Let's say I have committed a crime and I'm convicted and I'm out of the electoral race, but how about my party? If as an executive member, as a minister, something was done by the government, I would be responsible, but not the entire party or their activists. They have banned the entire party because they do not want anything pro-liberation within Bangladesh. But there are a small number of people currently backed up by certain elements within our security forces. They are not the majority, which is why they are scared of holding any election. All kinds of right-wing extremist religious parties in Bangladesh, they are scared of elections because in successive elections, they have not been able to show their electoral support more than 10% of total casted votes. So which is why they are shying away from all kinds of election. And the saddest thing is that Western countries had initially backed this interim regime of Yunus. Now this regime itself is promoting this illiberal, this militant groups. And that is the saddest part. So we are waiting for the election schedule. We are waiting what the verdict will be today. We already know what it will be, but we reject the court's verdict. We reject this this regime, and we would like to request the army, the judiciary, the civil administration to rise up against this group of people who are an existentialist threat to the country.
Thank you, Muhammad Hassan Chaudhary, for speaking to News 9 and giving us what is exactly happening on the ground as well, and how the Awami League is planning to fight the situation on the ground. As we remind our viewers, today we are expecting the judgment from the International Crimes Tribunal constituted by the Bangladesh court itself, and this tribunal is set to deliver verdict on Sheikh Hasina, the former Prime Minister of Bangladesh, especially with regard to her actions that were taken when it came to the student protests in Bangladesh.